Copy that. Here is a draft service agreement for your review and consideration. Effective immediately if all is in order. Ah, wait a sec. I forgot to sign it. Ganyu. There. Right. Now, what was it you needed me to do for you exactly? It's so nice to de-stress. If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world. Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do. Oh, good. I was just thinking that the silk flowers at the Feiyun Commerce Guild needed watering. The transport coordinators will probably moan about the muddy mountain roads again, though. It is something of a luxury, but I love listening to the rain from the courtyard. Oh, the sun's out. When did that happen? Ah, the air is just right. Ah, I love the smell of glazed lilies. Morning. What's wrong? Is there something stuck in my hair? Oh, please don't stare at my hairpiece. Ugh, I need a nap. If there aren't any urgent matters, I'll excuse myself. Look how brightly lit the city is at night. Amazing. I wonder what it's like for all the people down there. No thanks. I think I'll pass on the night market. Sorry. May Rex Lapis watch over you. May your dreams be peaceful and sweet. My job is to honor my contract with Rex Lapis by looking out for the interests of all living things in Liyue. I finished all my assignments early today. Overtime? I understand. I'll get right on the case. I want to understand more about humans, and I especially wish to hear what you think of them. Why, you ask? Because you're a bit different from most people in Teyvat, just as I am. Please, tell me what you think. I was wondering what your opinion is on my work so far. Would you say I'm more of a common chest or more of a luxurious chest? It's fine. I can take it. With authority over 1,000 comes responsibility to 1,000. Rex Lapis knows the meaning of hardship better than anyone else in Liyue. He has seen everything that has happened from ancient times to the present day, and yet he was forced to give up his entire life. Compared to him, I'm just an everyday vision holder with everyday responsibilities. I can't complain about my workload. Where merchants flock and all ships dock, and over the oceans flows its stock. People say this in praise of Liyue's prosperity, but a city only becomes this successful through everyone playing their part diligently. That's the attitude I take to my work. I want to be worthy of what we enjoy here. I've named every single doggy living in Liyue. But they're so funny. Some of them still respond even when you call them the completely wrong name. How fascinating is that? Like if people were to call me Bantu, how am I supposed to know they're talking to me? No way would I respond. Chingsin flower petals are pretty tasty. Incredibly tasty, actually. The only reason I don't plant any at Yujing Terrace is because they taste so good that I worry I wouldn't be able to control myself. Huh? Bitter? Yes, they are. Isn't that what they're supposed to taste like? I have absolute faith in Rex Lapis. It was only through his leadership that we were able to repel the monsters and subdue the sea creatures, and thus protect the peace of Liyue. The sight of him protecting the masses, and the memory of our centuries of camaraderie, I shall never forget it. All of Rex Lapis's decisions prioritize the welfare of all life in Liyue. That's what I admire about him the most. I want to live up to the same standard, but it seems that the harder I try to follow in his footsteps, the more overwhelmed I get and the more mistakes I make. Each Tianquan adds their own interpretation and amendments to the founding laws of Liyue. The current one, Ningguang, does it with unmatched efficiency, but that efficacious manner of hers draws a great deal of criticism. I suppose it is always simpler to criticize than to tolerate. I cannot stand her disrespectful attitude towards Rex Lapis. But he says to me, "Ganyu, this is just the kind of person Liyue needs in this day and age." I guess I'm not smart enough because I simply do not understand what he means by that. I think I need more life experience to become wise enough to comprehend his words. She came to me recently to discuss the reopening of the Bishui trade route. She even asked me what Rex Lapis would do if it were him. Admittedly, what we came up with was not quite on par with what he would have chosen. But seeing the way she kept starting her plan from scratch over and over again, I think I started to understand her a little bit. You mean the boy in the blue jacket from the Feiyun Commerce Guild? He's nothing like his father and brother. Doesn't seem to care about the textile business at all. Seems it's because, as far as he's concerned, there are more important things for him to be doing. Of course, I'm merely speculating. Xiangling is a celebrity, but I try to avoid her restaurant. Just because. No reason. Okay, fine. It's not a big secret anyway. It's because you can smell her cooking all the way from the other end of the street. And once you get a whiff, I mean, that's it. You're gone. Next thing you know, you're ordering your second, maybe third round. You just can't control it. Even though I only eat the vegetarian dishes, I don't know what it is. But that is not a road I want to go down again. Not after. Recently, everyone in Yujing Terrace has been saying nasty things about the Crux fleet. But in my personal opinion, Beto's contribution to Liyue Harbor goes far beyond what those miserable, rumor-loving heathens could even contemplate. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure how that one slipped out. Yao Yao. Someone I know at the Ministry of Civil Affairs tasked me with keeping an eye on her in the city, making sure she doesn't try and sneak aboard the Crux. Oh, you want to know what the Ministry of Civil Affairs does? Who knows, am I right? Who knows what they do? Not me. He seems like a bit of an outsider socially. Probably just his personality. I can understand that, to be honest, but I'm not really about to try and get close to him. I mean, all the people he's ever agreed to team up with are no longer with us. Ah, Yanfei. Even back when she was an innocent little girl, she would tell me that you have to keep your promises to live a happy life. Now she's grown up to be a beautiful, graceful, and highly successful young woman. Although the work of a legal advisor is complicated, she always seems so carefree. This puts my mind at ease. I actually don't know her all that well. I've only heard bits and pieces from Cloud Retainer. From what I've heard, she can be quite ferocious. Whenever her temper gets the better of her, she is likely to start obliterating her surroundings. I wonder if maybe she's just bored. Should I recommend some work to keep her occupied? Even though Miss Yelan is absent from work for the majority of the year, I'm sure Lady Ningguang must have her reasons for making exceptions for her. Of course, it wouldn't be my place to ask, so I don't know the details of their arrangement. I remember seeing her one day on my way back to Yuehai Pavilion. She was having breakfast with a group of people. They were all talking and laughing, eating, drinking tea. I must admit, I found myself feeling a little envious in that moment. You have a last-minute job for me? Okay, sorry, please don't try and explain it all verbally. Write it down. Leave a note here. I'll get to it as soon as possible. Let's see. I want to understand Ganyu better. What sort of request is that? I've never done this before. Okay, I can, run you through my annual review from last year? That should bring you up to speed on me. No good? Oh, okay then. I've had a long, hard think, and I've realized that so long as it's for a work-related matter, there's really nothing for me to be embarrassed about. So if you really need to understand me more, this, hairpiece, it's actually my horns. That's right. I'm part illuminated beast. Qilin, to be exact. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, please sign this non-disclosure agreement for me. And don't tell a soul. Even though I'm part Qilin, I'm still part human, too. Still, all these years I've been asking myself the same question. Do I really belong in the human world? Maybe I'm just like a dendro slime hiding in the earth, burying myself in numbers and reports in order to escape reality. Thank you for always making time to chat with me. I feel like I must have spoken more after meeting you than I have in the last 10 years put together. If I keep going like this, maybe one day I'll be able to move on to something other than secretarial work. Now that I've got a few hundred years of experience under my belt, I should be able to avoid any more major mistakes. My hobby. I would say my job. What? Why don't jobs count as hobbies? I thought hobbies are supposed to be things you look forward to doing, and that make you feel good when you've done them. That describes my job perfectly. So what's the issue? I don't understand why people insist on going all out to try and prove how their existence is more valuable than everyone else's. To exist in the first place is a beautiful thing, and that's enough, isn't it? Drink only spring water, eat only whole grains. That's my motto. So I would be grateful if you could please remove that treacherously enticing-looking plate of delicacies from my field of view. Much obliged. Qilins are strict vegetarians, so please do not take offense when I decline meat dishes. Yes, that includes your vegetable fritters, since they have been fried in animal fat. Thanks, but I can't. I'm afraid I really can't. I don't mean to argue, it's just I have a keen sense of smell, so I know how they've been cooked. Such authentic delicacies. Oh no, I think I might have eaten too much. I'm somewhat of a picky eater. Sorry you went to all this trouble. I appreciate the thought, but meat's not really my thing. Many happy returns. After all the times you've looked out for me, I didn't even remember to get you a gift. Oops. Silly me, What's that behind my back? Oh, you saw it then. It's a failed attempt at making a Chingsin flour cake. I wanted it to be perfect, but... Oh, you think it tastes good? Do you really? Power? Now there's a key performance indicator I haven't needed in a long time. Could we maybe find a peaceful resolution instead? Never mind, doesn't matter. I suppose this is the new way of life then. I'm not going to complain. I'll try to embrace it. I remember reading in an ancient text that only when days be darker than the darkest night may a Qilin be compelled to fight. That's a massive exaggeration, but should the time come for battle, and should you need me, then I will give it every ounce of my strength.